I have given some of the photographs which shows the very poor condition of the people using, say, water. We have plenty of water, but the way we are misutilizing water, it's really tough. We have a big program, a Ganga Action Plan, long back, but what was the result? We have a very recently again, Clean Ganga project. But you know that these programs, unless and otherwise, are associated with a very high level of awareness of the people. It will go ahead only in the name of the program as a program name, but result will be really near to big zero. I won't say big zero, there are something which is happening. The same thing not only in India. Throughout the world, there are some data which is given. Africa, you know that Sahara, Africa, it's a very poor condition with respect to the consumption pattern is concerned. But there are only a few countries, European countries, a part of USA, in Asia, very few, one or two you can name like Japan, Korea to some extent. They are only aware of how the resource efficiency can be achieved. And just the one example I'll give for the Korea, many a time with respect to the utilization of resource, consumption pattern change, we tell that no, this is not possible in India. How it is possible? We have poverty and all these things. But you know the Korea, in 1990s, it was similar to India, the GDP and all other conditions. From 1980 to 2002, they have reduced, rather they have increased the recycling percentage from 16 to 85. Mrs. Muller was referring the recycling efficiency of Germany, 70 plus. We can't believe. But of course, I'm very happy to say that we are better than many other countries. I mean, very recently, in 2018, I was a part of the UNCRD, one of the projects of 3R implementation in India, and I found that we are recycling nearly 27% of the waste, which is not bad. And in India, we have a very good culture of recycling because of our poverty. We don't like to throw material. We try to use, reuse, and when it is not at all possible to use, then only we throw it away. But in such case, by throwing in this manner, we are generating only the municipal solid waste nearly 62 million metric ton per year. Huge. And if you ask me, what is the recirculation of that waste? It is only 27%. Then what is done with rest? Rest of the material, the fate is, you are not to go beyond, you are not to travel a lot. Just 5 kilometers from this place towards east, go to Dhapa, and you will find what is the fate of all these 73% of waste which we are generating. And it is not only the municipal waste. The same way, it is being carried out for the industrial waste. Industrial waste is a huge, expensive. But unless and otherwise, we have in your mind that I must recirculate it, it is not possible. Technology is available. Expertise is available. But what is not there is the willingness of the industry or of the person. And in India, there are a number of examples. You go to ITC, you go to HLL, you go to even Indian Oil Corporation. They are utilizing the wastes, and as a matter of fact, they are getting huge amount of return by utilizing the West. And they are not only earning from the West reutilization, recirculation, but what they are doing good for the environment. Because all those waste, if it is not recirculated, if it is not reused, then this should have gone to again the dumping ground. We have number of dumping ground. So the third is, which is very much related, is interconnectivity with the climate. Because you know that anything wastes, if you throw it away, huge amount of methane gas is generated, carbon emission, GHGs. So all those are, as I was telling, that 72 billion tons per year, the extraction, and 80% we are giving back to the world, globe in the form of waste. The similar thing we are doing whenever we are throwing it in the environment. And so, we must have an action plan so that there must be the connectivity, must be bridged together so that the carbon emission is less. And circular economy is one of the best solutions as of today seen throughout the world. We have in India our program of 100 smart city, making 100 smart city. What is it? What was this number 15 years back, 20 years back? You know that most of the smart cities today, if you look into it throughout the world, the maximum number is in India. So in that way there are two things. One, the consumption is very high for the smart cities. On the other hand, the design of smart cities is such that some of the aspects of the resource efficiency is taken care of. So now, who will make the marriage of these two? So these are all pressure on the atmosphere, on the environment. So we have to make a relaxation on those, that even if we have a smart city, there are number of processes for the smart city design in our country, but you know that many of the aspects with respect to the design of the smart city is concerned is not supporting the circular economy. So as a matter of fact, again, we are putting garbage into the environment. Then what is circular economy? Circular economy in simple term, now what we are doing, we are, see if we consider, you know that we are having raw material extracted, reduced, you have design and production, then distribute the material, and we are consuming, and ultimately what is done? We have a dump yard, dump it. So as a matter of fact, there is no closed loop. It is a single, the linear economy. But you have a raw material, and you design the process in such a fashion that ultimately this goes again add to the raw material, and a very few percentage it goes in the waste. I'll talk about the legislation in India. Today, by pressure group like us, the government of India has released a set of waste management rule in 2016. 6 waste management rule, and as a matter of fact, we are very happy that in India, apart from many other countries are not doing it. But I am very proud that in our country, we could establish 6 waste management rules which are based on the circular economy and 5R concept. So this is, in very easy terms, circular economy. You take the raw material, design it, produce it, distribute it, consume, and you know that here, during the consumption, you reuse and repair. What is Indian culture? If my computer doesn't work well, I don't throw it away. Why? Because it has a good price. What is not happening in countries like Europe? I visited in European countries many electronic waste recycling plant, and 20% of the material which is coming to the recycling plant, it needs only 20 to 30 minutes or even maximum 1 hour to rectify it and to send it to India or some other countries like that. They send it in the name of aid. In India, we're not doing it. So if we consider that, that means we are having an inbuilt system of reuse and repair. Today, go to European countries. You will find that they are encouraging to establish the business of repair. They are giving training. You go to Japan, they are giving training to the young guys for repair. Because you know, this is the concept of circular economy. You recircle it, don't throw it away. In other slide, I have shown the same thing. Virgin material are taken from nature, used to make products, which are then used and eventually disposed of. So we have finite resource. If we go ahead with this, then the new virgin material will be exhausted sometime. A simple example I give: the plastic bottles, the plastic carry bag or other materials, even the plastic chairs like this. If you go to the market, you will find that most of the chairs which are made of plastics are not out of virgin material. That's good. And we have in India a big market for sale of this type of material where we use the recycled plastics. In 2004, I developed a plastic waste recycling machine, which I got later on the patent from India government. It was taken by many of the municipalities to just recirculate the plastic waste, and they produce beads, that small bead. And that small bead is used for making all those materials. So in India, there is a good market for waste plastics, but what is happening in practice? We have a plastic waste management rule 2016, where many things are given, where it is said that less than 50 micron you cannot manufacture, you cannot store, you cannot use. You go to any of the market. So the thing is that if you have a legislation, circular economy always must be supported by the legislation, but your legislation must be implemented effectively. So the thing is that you have a legislation and you must have a governance, effective governance, and then we will surely get the benefit of this, not the take, make and dispose, but take, make, recirculate, and again go on doing this process. And whatever is waste, you know that today we have the technology that no waste should be disposed of. We have the technology that the waste which is not usable, you can make the fuel out of it. We sometimes call it RDF, refuse derived fuel. And its calorific value, if you really go ahead with a very good technology, you'll find the calorific value becomes 2000 and 3000 sometimes per kg, kilocalorie per kg. So add it to the boiler and get heat out of it. So in that way, of course, you may say that there will be some ash generated. The ash is again reusable. The ash, out of this ash, you know that the power plant, we have huge amount of fly ash and bottom ash. A part is hazardous, but other part, 10 years, 15 years back, this was really a horrible problem for us. But today, ash is not at all a problem because we are recirculating that ash. And again, we are making big bricks and other things, many things. And when you go to the cement plant, you will find there are heap of this fly ash. What they are doing, this building is made out of the material which is made, one of the components is the fly ash, cement. So, now, this is a structure of circular economy. You know that one part, you have stock management, all the recycling, reuse, distribution, maintenance of the machine and collection ultimately. And the other part is the biological. You know that the biological wastes, not biological, bio-waste, say kitchen waste, what we are doing? You can generate energy out of that waste. You can generate electricity out of that waste. And in India, you know that we have more than 4 lakh of biogas plants. It is an old age practice. But if you ask me, sir, what is the maximum size of the biogas plant in India? I'll say, sorry, we don't have more than 20 million metric ton of biogas capacity in India. But in Germany, you go there, I visited at least 20 biogas plants in Germany. Beautiful. More than 5,000 biogas plants which are generating electricity and putting it into the grid. 5 ton they don't think of, but 10 ton, 20 tons, even 50 tons biogas plant. We should do it. I'm not going to that. Then what is the global status? You know that UN, it devised a goal, we call it SDG 2030, which was made in, previously it was Millennium Goal, but now it is SDG 2030. And a part of that supports the activity of circular economy. We have 17 such goals and 230 indicators. So the thing is that we have a good policy in place, but now we are the person to implement it. These are the 17 goals. It says about water conservation, environment conservation, environment protection, resource conservation, and which is related to not only the waste at your home, industry, hospital, biomedical waste management, industry, industrial waste and electronic waste, plastic waste management, residence, household, municipal waste management, poverty, because you know that everything is related to poverty. So how to enhance how to reduce the poverty level. So in that way, this SDG 20, of course, we are working throughout the world to achieve different goals and the parameters and indicators of this SDG. But the thing is that we have to really do some work. A lot of things are being carried out throughout the world. I will give an example of what is happening in India. You know that this is one of the photographs, and I'm really proud that the Prime Minister of our country talked about the cleanliness in the country. Never happened. I'm proud that the Prime Minister is speaking about the cleanliness in the house, the ODF, so that people don't go onto the field and shit over there. We have, yeah. You go to the European country and tell them that we have people doing like this, they will just laugh at you. And this is not only laughing to them, this is very much related to the education. You know that as toilets are not there in the house and school, the dropout of the children in the school are more for the female children. And if the education level is not higher, poverty, all bad elements are there inside. So in that way, this is not only related to the cleanliness. What is the cost of health? Healthcare. If you are doing like this, then there will be a lot of problem in the health. So that's why it is really, I'm proud. Wherever, which country I am going, I refer at least once the Swachh Bharat mission in India. It's really, there are a lot of learnings from other countries to do, and you know that, I'll just come to that. This is a structure of our legislation. And you know that we started from this 1970, the Stockholm Conference, and previously of course we had, our legislation is very old. 1881 we had the Factories Act, where we talked something about the environmental protection. Long back. But I'm not going into detail of all this, there were a lot of things. But in 2016, the new revised rules on waste management based on reduce, reuse, recovery, recycle, remanufacturing and circular economy. What are those? Hazardous waste management, construction and demolition waste. This was not there. Mrs. Mandal was telling that construction and demolition waste, 80% of the construction and demolition waste is recycled and used. What's with us? We don't have any figure. Of course, we are doing something recycling. And this rule says that in each of the towns, small and big, we must have a recycling plant for CD waste. Do you know how many as of now in India? Only two. One is in Delhi, 1,000 tons per day, and one is in Ahmedabad, 500 tons per day. Of course, there are a number of plants in different countries, different cities. It must be. So this is not only the recycling, but this is recirculation of the economy. This is circular economy. So this will help in building the local economy. So next is the biomedical waste management, electronic waste management, plastic waste management, and the basis of all these are solid waste management rules 2016. You know, one more thing. If you don't segregate waste, its value is zero. If you segregate waste at source, the value gives the maximum benefit. And I am now requesting mainly the people who are staying in Kolkata. How many of us segregate source at your own house? How many? Can you raise hands? Don't take it otherwise. This is just an awareness program because these are all educated person. So if we don't do it, the next level will not do it. So in my home, I have 3 bins. Green for all wet waste, white for all dry waste, and the black bin which carries the hazardous waste, like the battery, like the medical waste, all those things are there. And in my ward in Kolkata, all the dry waste, I made it there in 115 hours. There is a material recovery plant. All the dry waste agencies taking care, going there, 22 ladies and gents, they are working there. They are earning around 5,000 to 7,000 per month up to 12 a.m. 12 to 1 p.m. And rest of the time they are also earning some other thing. And per month they are working around 65 to 70% efficiency. And per month they are only selling 7 to 9 tons of plastic waste. So think of the recirculation of the wastes. So in that way, I have very recently introduced a system in the housing complex. In SWM 2016, it says that any gated community, housing complex, market, you must have a system of waste management, own waste management. I have a flat in Diamond City South, near Kolkata, South Calcutta, and I installed a segregated waste management system, and that is the first in Eastern India. Do you know that per month, now it has become a sustainable, self-sustainable project, no cost. Rather, we are earning some money from the dry waste selling. And we are utilizing all the compost for our garden. We have reduced the use of chemical fertilizer. So these are the things. Unless and otherwise we do, it is very impossible to implement the circular economy. But we have the tools, all the 6 tools talks about circular economy. And you know that recycling, composting, biomethanation, waste to energy, landfill, all these things are there. But we don't recommend incineration or waste to energy. What is done in Japan? Most of their waste are incinerated. What is done in Korea? Most of their waste are going to incineration. But now they realize that incineration and waste to energy is not the way for recycling, for waste management. So they are now coming back to the recycling. I was telling that we must practice wet waste for green, dry waste for white, and other waste. And this is black, but it doesn't come here. Okay, the hazardous waste. And you know the city waste, you have to put a separately. Construction and demolition, don't mix it. And the horticulture and garden waste, each is having value. So those are not waste.
What about glass and other things? Glass.
This will come here. Dry. You can put it separately because if it is broken, you separately put it. Otherwise it will damage your. So, you know, I was very happy and I'm very proud to say that in India, from 2014, which we have started the Swachh Bharat mission, and we have a survection. Each year we are now assessing which city is doing what. I mean, very recently, 20th and 21st, I was in Tenali. Tenali municipality is a big municipality, and they made me mentor for their integrated waste management facility in Andhra Pradesh for next 2 years. I'm very happy to help them for making the recirculation of the waste in the waste management system. So in that way, you know that 4,064 cities. If you ask me today what the cities in India are doing, I'll happily say that this is done in India. This is my time limit. So, I'll not take much time because we will have some time for discussion. But you know that HP, some of the industries, they have been doing very good with respect to the circular economy is concerned. And these are all data. I'm not going to all the data, but these are all, I mean, ultimately, the return cartridge and other plastics contribute to circular economy. See? Use of 84% less energy while printing and 25% less power overall than the leisure. I mean, what happens? It is not only the benefit of HP, but it is the benefit for us also. European, there are a number of things which are being carried out. Korea, in Japan, they have now incorporated many recirculation programs, and they have a society, mutual cycle society. In Korea, they have set a target of 2020 to reduce to 3% of the landfill. Rest of the part they will recycle. That's a great achievement. And they have, in 2014, they have already come to 85% of the 85 or 86% of the recycling efficiency. And many initiatives for circular economy, whether it is urban agriculture, water, electricity, building. You know that the green building. In green building code in India, even, it is said that 20 to 25% of the construction material, if it is made out of recycled grits and recycled CD waste, your marks will be more. So that's the encouragement which we are having for the circulation of the waste in our country. E-waste, it is a very expensive waste, but we are not utilizing it. We are all having some informal recyclers who are having their health problem and all other things, and ultimately we are not. Even China, I visited 3 plants in the e-waste recycling in China, doing very well. And the business is very good. But in India, excepting Bangalore and Chennai one, we don't have any recycling of electronic waste. But we have a electronic waste management rule 2016. Of course, it will take some time. A lot of things. You know that I was telling about refuse derived fuel. I'm very happy to tell you that I'm one of the expert committee member in the Ministry of Urban and Housing and Urban Affairs. We are making the standardization of RDF in India. From the West, RDF is made, and this RDF is used in the cement plant. So this waste is used for the cement plant as a fuel as well as a raw material. We call it AFR. So in that way, if everything is set, then most of the cement plants in India must use this RDF, and government, we are just planning so that government can give some subsidy at the initial stage to the cement plant. And of course, it should be a change from linear to circular, and circular economy, in my idea and whatever experience I have, is not tough. The tough is you have to change your mindset. You must have a paradigm shift in your mindset for linear to circular economy. There are many negative, the argument that circular economy is not possible. But those who don't have much idea about the circular economy, they make all these comments, the circular economy is not possible. But if one goes into the circular economy, they will find that this is really a hidden economy which is there. You have to just extract the economy from the West, then extraction of the material from the globe. And of course, we need to innovate. That is very important. And some of the advantage, long-term business growth, better risk management, brand equity and reputation. Because you know that today, if your industry takes care of the circular economy of the West which you are generating, you will get a point in the business and your image will be enhanced with respect to global business is concerned. So as a matter of fact, circular economy is a need for the day, and make more resource efficiency, product and services, long-term business, cost will reduce, and many things. So circular economy has many disadvantages, but one disadvantage, and there will be many disadvantages if one does not understand circular economy. So I will once again thank you very much to all of you for your patient hearing on a very new subject, and I am quite sure that you can propagate this idea to your friends and others that think of circular economy. Thank you very much. I've taken only 5 minutes more.
That's great. Now let's open for question and answer.
Professor Ghosh for a very liberating lecture. We got enlightened on this idea of a circular economy. But for a couple of things which I'd like to know and perhaps ask, any economy, the population explosion in our country, one wonderful thing about China was they control their population. The Europeans, they know how to control the population. India since 1951 has a population explosion every 10 years. So that is telling on our resources.
That is?
Telling on our resources. Our resources are gradually getting, this urban explosion and all this, all these problems which you mentioned of waste and all this is a direct result of population explosion. Mm-hmm. So any economy, even of a circular economy, to be sustainable in the long end needs a population control. Unless the population is controlled in India, no economy can be sustainable in the long run. And my question to you is, in India we regard the rivers as holy. Ganga, Jamuna, Kaveri are all holy. We regard them as a mother. And see in Calcutta was the condition. Kalighat shrine, first people used to come and have a bath at the holy Ganges.
I see the question to come to the question.
Yeah, the question is how the waste in our rivers, which is eating on our resources, which is eating on our economy, how can it be controlled? And secondly, regarding agriculture, use of pesticides and these tremendous use of pesticides. Can't gobar gas or biogas? Do you have any other way? How can our agriculture production can multiply without using chemical fertilizers and decreasing the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides, and if possible eliminate?
Yeah, I got your question, because you know that we don't have much time, right? So we have to give some other chances also. Whatever you say, I don't believe in that. Because you know that you can have many problems. If you bog down with identification, assessing the problems, keeping the solution one side, then you can never go to the solution. So my suggestion is, keep all those things for the politician and other people. And try to focus on only one point, that start from you, that I want to start the circular economy at my home, my office, and then I'll teach at least 5 persons to practice circular economy. Because the thing where you don't have any control, don't think of it. Yes, next question.
And you regard the fertilizer part, the agriculture part.
Again I am telling, do you have any control on your agriculture part? No. So why should I bother? And those questions which you are posing here, you need at least 1 hour time to discuss with me. Okay, but thing is that what I request you, focus on what is possible by you. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Ghosh, for your enlightening lecture. Although I myself do not belong to this circular economy group. So just my small question to you is that what is construction and demolition waste as was told and shown in the screen?
What is
construction and demolition waste?
Okay, very good.
Yeah,
very good. Okay. I need your name, sir?
I'm Devashish Paul.
From?
I'm also from Jadavpur University, but it's for a different
Alright.
humanities department.
Alright. Say, I'm not interested to stay at this house, in this house, and I am the owner of this house. I have money. What I'll do? Deconstruct. Right? And if you deconstruct it, what will happen?
Demolish.
And that is CD waste.
Oh yes.
Alright? Yeah.
Yeah. So my question is, have you ever thought of, let's say that you have a lot of e-waste, e-waste, electronic waste. The PCBs, they have some amount of gold, which I'm told that people try to retrieve and all that. So I believe the technology is not yet developed to that extent where, if I bring if I actually let's say dismantle a computer and take a PCB out, and it's not necessary for me to actually recycle and build a second PCB out of those, right? I can use the plastic for something else, I can use the metal for something else, etc. How far do you think are these technologies developed? I believe these are the bottlenecks.
Yeah, I'll tell you. You are right that for e-waste management or e-waste recycling, what happens? Say electronic waste, say my mobile or computer, it has more than 100 types of components. And if we categorize it, maybe 7 or 8 types. And each of the thing is having some recycling facility. Even the PCB, like he is my PhD student, we are now going for generating green energy out of the PCB. So pyrolysis is one of the way by which PCB can be treated. So there are many technology which are proven technology, but in India the problem is not the technology. As you rightly pointed out, say there are number of PCBs or number of other e-waste. Possibility is, the problem is we don't have any collection system. We don't know how many PCB or how many laptop you own. So in that way, but if you go to UK, if you go to any other European countries or developed countries, they have a database that how many electronic devices I have. And they have also the system, before it expires, they call me or they send me information that your product is expiring. So please send it back or I'll send it. Because you know that for each of the product, there is an EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility, for which whenever I am purchasing this laptop, I am paying something for the disposal of this at the purchase stage. And this is the responsibility of the manufacturer or seller to take this material back from you after it expires, and they will use it. Most of the countries, developed countries in the world, you know that I'll name one, Wiser Recycling in Yorkshire, Cambridgeshire. I had been there. What they do is they take out all the materials, and most of the materials they are not recycling anything, only pack it. And many of the materials they are sending to India and China for recycling. Say metal factory, plastic factory, and others. So technology is not at all a problem, but the problem is the collection system and the governance.
Thank you for very thought-provoking ideas. One thing is that in a way, nature is one of the best cycling agent, like water cycling. But we, through our civilization and other things, have destroyed partly most of the natural recycling processes, which I think is a very efficient and intelligent thing. So when you extend this 3 hour to 5 hour, should also there be replacing the natural recycling processes another hour? For example, I should elaborate just by 1 minute. That is, for example, this water. In cities and many areas we are covering up with cement and other things, and not allowing the water into the earth but into the drain, putting strain on our corporation and then on our rivers, waste. So in cities if there could be some open areas designed so that the water goes back into the earth and natural processes help, will that help? This is valid for all.
I got your point. Thank you very much for your.
I will have other point after you.
I'll tell you. You know that is a city development, city design, a part of it, right? This is not a forum where I cannot comment on that, whether there should be a sum or any other thing. But of course, there should be a system where the water conservation is preserved properly. Water is preserved properly. How technologies will tell you, because I'm not the technologist on the water conservation, but there are some person, and I'm
part
sure
of this.
part of this. But I'm sure that of course the amount of water which is being wasted in city like Kolkata, we must be careful about it.
Terrible.
We must be careful about it also. The rainwater, the way we are wasting. That's why there is a tremendous effort taken throughout India for the rainwater harvesting. Go to South India. There are many small initiatives where they are doing water harvesting. And so this is the need of the day, but I am not the technocrat for this water harvesting and water conservation.
Yes. Now, for example, in Germany, I heard from my host that you pay not only for the water you take, but the wastewater is also charged.
So why Germany said, you go to any good hotel, you'll be charged if you take extra water.
No, not extra water.
Then?
Discharge. In Germany, discharge is also charged in most cities.
In India, it is not charged. It is
not
charged.
charged.
Yes. You go to any industry.
Yeah, industry.
Industry, no, but not in Calcutta.
Who told you? Everywhere. It is a rule 1974 after the Stockholm Conference in 1972. We are the first country who enacted Water Act in 1974, and it is written there, if you take any water for your industrial use, you have to pay cess, and if you treat that, you will get a 25% discount on the cess. This is for a long time. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ghosh. I need a simple information. See, sometimes we are totally confused what to do with the waste.
With the waste?
What to do with the waste. For example, we had a asbestos sheet, for example, and we just didn't know what to do with it. Now, is there any website or something which can guide me if I have such problem that, can I consult them, can I send mails to them so that they can guide me what to do with a particular
asbestos?
Yes,
right?
This was a huge sheet, totally useless, broken, and we just didn't know what to do.
All right.
So is there any information?
I'll tell you. Thank you very much, sir. You know that use of asbestos, storage of asbestos is illegal today.
Yes.
By law. Asbestos. So you have to search some solution for that. Otherwise, the pollution control board will come to you and they will give penalty for it. They will ask for penalty. So in that way, I don't know. But you have to search for the solution, and I'm sure that there are some agencies, or best is, you talk to the pollution control board and tell them that I have this much of asbestos, please give up, because there is nobody can take unless and otherwise they have authorization from the pollution control board. So you ask them, they are the right person to give you the right direction, not me.
On the same ground, how batteries are to be disposed?
Battery,
Small batteries.
you know that we have a battery rule? Battery rule 1979, and it was revised in 2008. Everything is written here. What type of battery?
Both. This type of batteries, and even hearing aid and mobile batteries.
I'll tell you.
You just throw
We
it away.
have all the rules in India.
Yes, not in
But
and not known.
No, not known, that is my fault. I don't know. I'll request all of you to please read these 6 rules. You will get a lot of inputs. What you are doing, what you are not doing, you will know. And the moreover, you know that the authorities who are responsible for monitoring these rules, they have a lot of scopes for improvement in their effort. The battery, you cannot throw battery away. Even in that dry waste, I told you that dry is white, you cannot put your battery over there. So you have to keep a separate. I'll tell you, the hazardous waste and the battery waste, the rule says each of the local government, the ULBs, here the corporation and the ward, they must collect those things once in 15 days and they must dispose it eco-friendly. The hazardous waste should go to the biomedical waste treatment. We have a biomedical waste treatment facility. Do you know where? It's in Howrah. If you Howrah, you go to the dumping ground, just beside that, there is a Medicare. Previously it was Sam Ramke. They are doing it. So in that way, we have a lot of information, but the implementation is less. Please.
Good evening, Professor Ghosh. Thank you for the introduction to the circular economy. I'm a global shaper from Kolkata, and I've been living in a nation called Kolkata Clean Air. My question is, you mentioned about recycling being 27% in India, and recycling in India is about 27%. Right? So one of the things that I have noticed is a lot of role by rag pickers, which are informal sector people working in the economy. And some countries, probably Mexico is one of the countries which is legalized, like kind of formalized the role of rag pickers in the economy. I see a lot of potential in rag pickers being formalized because of the sheer condition that they work in today and the role that they play in recycling. So what is your opinion on that? Is there any purview in the law that you mentioned for the rag pickers being included in this part, and they can play a beneficial role in the circular economy?
Thank you. I got it. You know that again I am telling you. In India, we have a rule very recently in 2016 where we have recognized the rag pickers to make it formalized. So in that way, it is a part of SWM rules 2016 where it is said that the local government or the ULPs or the municipality or the corporation, they will have a list of the rag pickers and they are their authorized agent to collect the dry waste and others, not from the what is so-called compactor station and all the shabby trays. They are just taking the waste from the all wet waste and doing the job. In that way, they are not earning any money and all the things are useless. So in that way, our rule has given the responsibility to all the municipalities and ULBs. I mean, the media person, if it is there, please write these things because these are the responsibility of the local authority who needs to, they can be formalized by the ULBs. There are many. Guwahati Corporation, you go to Karnataka, you go to Andhra Pradesh, you go to Telangana, they have done it, they are doing it. So we have to do also. Yes, sir.
I've read about India planning to abolish or to ban single-use plastic material in such a way as Rwanda did. I was wondering, is it really one of the elements of these acts you mentioned from 2016, and has it in any way been implemented yet?
Which one?
The plan to ban single-use plastic material.
Plan
to abolish single-use plastic material.
Banning of which material?
Single-use plastic material, plastic bags or plastic plates.
All right. Single-use plastics has not, there is no banning of single-use plastics in the Plastic Waste Management Rule 2016. In India, as of now, there is no rule which bans single-use plastics. But there are some states like Maharashtra, Bangalore, BBMP, in Ireland, they made that banning. But we all are putting pressure on the government of India so that the single-use plastic is banned. As of today, there is no legal status of banning of plastics in government of India. Possibly it will come very recently because Prime Minister also told that we have to do all these things. So that will be a good thing.
You just said that biomass in this housing is making good manure. That is the ideal thing.
Wow. Come and visit.
Yes, no. I want to say all over.
Where do you stay? No. Where do you stay?
In Salt Lake and Central Calcutta.
How many flats in your complex?
250.
250. What's the name of that?
Kendriya Bihar, behind Hadira Airport.
Very good. So please, it is my request. I had a discussion searching for a housing complex like 200 or 250 so that they take up this challenge. So please.
But second comment I want to make.
No comment.
No, please.
Will you do it?
I can. I shall write.
Mandal, Mrs. Mandal, you should help. Yeah, I'll help
She's
you.
a very strict person. She is a very strict person.
I am also.
I see. One thing, in the morning if we go out, whether it is in Salt Lake or elsewhere in Calcutta or in outside, biomass, that is trees, plants, are being burned for waste disposal. This I have been seeing for years. When will it stop? Is it a reality? It's a reality you see in the morning.
I know that.
In South Calcutta.
I know that, but yeah, there are a lot of things. Please.
But these are manuals.
But I want that 250 households, 250 flats from you.
Sure, you take me as an assistant.
Good evening, sir. My name is Madhura. I am from Indo-German Chamber of Commerce. First of all, thank you for such an elaborate and interesting presentation. I have a simple question. As you mentioned in the presentation, that segregation of waste is like the stepping stone of doing something at the local level or the individual level. Could you recommend some other steps or in some other ways which we can help to contribute to circular economy at the individual level or at the local level, if there are any other ways?
The first thing which you can do is, as Indo-German Chamber of Commerce, because I am associated with your activities for last 10 years, BG Roy and others there. You have number of members, right? Around say 200 or 254, 500 members. Hold awareness program for those industries first. I'll help you. And if you hold this 400 people industry, at least you will get 50 persons who will be really interested. And then there will be twofold benefit. One, they will do it at their home, they will do it at their industry. And if one industry, one person comes, it will be multiplied by at least 50 or 100. So that will be the best way of propagating this idea, because you cannot do more than that. You cannot call 100 people from outside and you cannot hold the program, but they are your members. So please do it, I'll help you. And that will be a very good work for the society itself. Your boss is also here, so just discuss with him, and I think this will be possible.
A lot of information what you've given is eye-opener. I think many things are known, but
Yeah, implementation and other things. So I'm also happy with this interaction. It was very lively.
You are demanding the ban plastic, but without an alternative. What will you do? Unless you develop an alternative, banning plastic would be stupid.
All right. Have you used any alternative than plastic?
It's not available.
Who told you? It's available. Do you need? Again I'm telling you, we are bogged down with problems than solution. If I have one solution, let us start with that. Don't mind and don't take it otherwise. I am very straightforward and that's why I am doing a lot of work on this.
No, excuse me.
Yes.
People has brand plastics completely. You won't find a single. How do they manage?
Yes, sir. See. So thing is that not only Shimla, it is near to you is Bhutan. You go to Bhutan. We went to Bhutan 10 years back. They banned it. They found alternative. You go to BBMP, Bangalore. You will not be allowed to come inside from the airport with a plastic bag. So thing is that let us not walk down with the problem. If I have at least one solution, let us start with that solution. You will find it. If
we don't have any more questions, then we conclude the session now. Thank you very much, Professor Ghosh, for such an interesting and informative, and I don't know what adjectives to use, in lecture. I'd like to thank all of you present here for your time and interest. Also our colleagues in the Goethe Institute, Max Muller from Kolkata. Thank you very much for hosting the event. Only one of the colleagues is present here at the moment. Mr. Ghosh, please convey our thanks to all of your colleagues. But before we end, may I request our two German interns, Aliza Kemper and Myra Braunoma, to hand over on behalf of the German Consulate in Kolkata a small token of appreciation to Professor Ghosh. Please.
Thank you.
So that the picture can be taken, please. Thank you very much, everybody, and wish you a nice weekend.